do every Sunday, why is there potholes? What happened? Where did the road go? How did this happen? And he explains it to her, and she realizes that they come and they patch it, but to fix the road it takes a lot more time and it's a lot more effort. And I use the analogy of potholes to life, that when you start life, your road is nice and solid and secure and straight and no problem. But once something happens to you, then this pothole emerges and you have to fill it with something. And sometimes what you fill it with is whatever is obsessing you. Like, it could be exercise, it could be work, it could be shopping and spending money, or it could be something like alcohol or drugs or whatever it is that you're filling it up with. You're trying to cover up that hole. And some of the things you put in there just make the hole bigger. They don't really fill it. But what you need to understand is that no matter what in life, that hole is going to be coming undone again and again. You can fill it, and you should fill it with the best things that you can, but understand you're going to smell something, you're going to hear something, you're going to see something, and you're going to be right back to where it was. An example of that is if you lost somebody, and then all of a sudden something reminds you of that person, and you are back to that in a second. One of the blog posts that I wrote is called Life in Layers. And I found that I wrote this book in layers. I started out, I walked into a bookstore and I said, what would make me pick up a book and what would make me keep reading? And picking up a book, it's the cover and the synopsis of what it is. Keep reading is either I don't know what's going to happen, or I know what's going to happen and I can't wait for it to happen. So I kept that in mind. But I didn't just want to tell a story. I wanted to use this as a way to help young people and women and men who had already lived most of their lives but are still stuck in their childhood. And I wanted them to get the messages I was trying to get across. And it's not because I have a perfect life, it's because I don't, and because it's something that I am working on myself and have learned techniques and tools to use, and I want to share them. And so the book has layers to it. There is the layer of the story. There is a layer of my life that is in there, where I am using things that I have lived through, or friends have lived through, or my children's friends have lived through, and I'm trying to teach a lesson to them and show them that there are other possibilities and better choices. Some of you may laugh at this, and some of you may not like it at all, but I sometimes read my kids' tarot cards. And it's not because I have any way of telling them, I have no ability. I just know what they need to hear. So when they ask me, is this the guy? Or why is my father not in my life? Or what should I go to college for? Whatever it is, I know what they need to hear. I know they need to hear that other people, it's their problem. They need to make the decisions for themselves that are going to make them happy, and that they need to make good. I want it to be historically as accurate as it can be. So I stop sometimes to look up the research, but I write it first. I also always stop writing with the next sentence started, so that I don't come and look at the paper and say, I don't know what to say next. I know where it started. The best time things come to me is when I'm walking. I would take my dog for a walk, who I just put to sleep. We would walk, and we'd walk near the water, and just walking, ideas would come into my head. Often get ideas when I'm taking a shower, and my daughter just bought me the most awesome present for Christmas. It's paper that doesn't get wet, and a pencil and it sticks on the wall of the shower. And it says so that great ideas don't go down the drain. And I'm like, yeah. So I can write it then, and this way I don't, because I forget. So, but I write again, like I said, in layers. I will write it, and then I will think, that's a great idea. Okay, I've got to go back and build it in. So I go back. Now, one instance where I had a problem with that in the second book is that there is a character named Betsy, and she's Becky, and all of a sudden she's thinking Betsy in the middle, and someone reading it for me said Becky morphed into Betsy. I'm like, oh, because what happened was I went back and put in a chapter and just changed her name because I forgot, and luckily it got caught. So.